Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and Matchbox fans. Batch review time. We are talking 2023 Matchbox Mix number 6. This, of course, is the R code case. This is a very small mix, one of the smallest mixes of the year, definitely. But we are going to kick this off with what we have. 2016 Ford Interceptor Utility. This is number 24 of 100. This is for Kootenai County. This is not the first time the Matchbox has been using that deco. We'll review that where it's been used before when we pull them out on the rotator guide, but very nice licensed deco there. Next one up in the mix, 2016 Chevy Camaro convertible in yellow. This is number 33 of 100. This one looks pretty good. I don't think we've seen anything anywhere near a yellow for the Camaro yet, so we'll definitely take it. This one looks pretty good. I like the card art, especially looks pretty good. Definitely. Do have a couple of generics in the mix. Of course, this one donning the ink construction, which does make it special. This is the Road Stripe King, number 55 of 100. This one looks absolutely fantastic. This is the third deco for this model, so it is definitely going to be due for its own Rannick version. But for now, we get ink construction, so very happy about that one. Ink construction is definitely a good one, no doubt about it. Our next generic in the mix, this is the Dune Dog. We haven't seen this in the basic range for a little bit. This was also included in an Action Drivers set as well. Not this deco, but this model. Number 65 of 100. This does sport Lions Bros Racing. They have used that deco before on a real working rig tow truck. So pretty cool to see a recurring theme come back from many years ago. All right, this is technically a brand new casting in the Mainline, although you guys will know that this did debut in the Porsche series in red in the US, but its very first release was in black in the Germany series last year. This is the Porsche Cayenne Turbo. This particular one in metallic blue with black D10s on it, number 78 of 100. This is definitely the best version of the three thus far. No doubt, but very interesting that first time we're seeing it in the basic range, but yet it is its third release. It's crazy. Rolling on with the Porsche theme, though, we do have a 70th anniversary deco in the mix to definitely keep things spiced up. This is the 1985 Porsche 911 Rally. This one is number 80 of 100. Of course, pretty fitting that it's 80 of 100. Normally, they refer to this as the 80s Porsche. This particular one, 1985. This one looks good. It does have the 70th anniversary card art as well. So, not a big mix, just 6 cards, but we'll get them on the rotator guide and take a look. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kick this off. Number 24 of 100. This is the, of course, 2016 Ford Interceptor Utility. We have seen this one in a million decos thus far. Kind of interesting that they, made this with a tow hitch. But I suppose you could always tow the speed trap trailer with it. This one, licensed deco, Kootenai County Sheriff's Department. Of course, they used this deco previously on the Ford Crown Victoria. That did come out in the Supreme Heroes many years ago, which was a pretty cool line. That was kind of a one-and-done thing. But I thought it was pretty cool. It was all based on emergency vehicles, kind of like the collector's line, but just collector's vehicles. Or I'm sorry, emergency vehicles, and I really feel like they need to integrate some of that stuff back into the collector line. But that's just my opinion. This guy looks pretty good. Of course, they always try to get the headlight and taillight prints with some side passes. They don't all work that well. I don't think it's just a very good look at all. But at least we do get a licensed deco. It does look good from the side in the blister, just not from the front or the rear. Taking a look at the base deets, S12 is your day code for this particular batch. So rolling through 2023. All right, 2016 Chevy Camaro convertible. This one in yellow. This one looks pretty good. Of course, they do the hardtop, and they also do a moving parts hardtop. I'm sorry, the hardtop is moving parts. This one is pretty good. It's pretty good. I think the card art looked a lot better than the actual model. Full front and rear decos, as you'd expect. Pretty average interior. It's a kind of a gunmetal gray interior. The model's a little bit skinny. The casting's just a little bit too skinny. Needed to be a little bit wider just to be a little bit more proportionate But I think they did a good deal on this one. Good job. I'm happy to see in yellow. I think yellow is a pretty important color, especially when you're talking about something like a drop top sports car. But this one looks pretty good. Does have some plate detail on the back. It says Sunny Drive. So that looks pretty cool. Again, base deets, there you go. S13 for that particular one. Carried it over 1 week. All right, one of the two generics in the batch, of course, this is the Road Stripe King. This does don the Ink Construction Deco. Yellow base, blue body, and then, of course, it does have that very nice gray interior. This is designed to be more play value, I guess, than toy, I guess. So you would put a pencil or a marker down in the middle here, and then there's an opening on the bottom, and you could literally draw road lines and road stripes. I think it's a pretty clever design. The model still looks very good, and it still appeals to collectors for sure. I think this is one of the more realistic generics they've done in a little bit, and I really like the fact that they did it like that, but yet they were still able to add that kind of kid flair to it, which is kind of interesting. I do anticipate if you find this guy in dump bins in the near future or 10 years down the road, you'll probably have this little piece on the front broken off. That will be pretty common, I think. Speaking of the base deets, there is the base deets. Of course, that is where the pen goes through, or marker, or whatever you want to use. So pretty cool. I like it. I think that's a cool flair. All right, the other generic in the mix, this is the Dune Dog. I don't believe this has been modified in any way, but we'll take a look when we get to the base. Number 65 on this guy, the Road Stripe King, number 55. This one looks pretty good. This one does have a removable top, not necessarily intentionally, but that top plastic piece is separate. This one donning the Lions Bros Deco. It is a matte finished black. Actually, it's kind of a satin finished black with a yellow interior. The spare tire on the back is part of the base, of course. But this one looks pretty good. This is definitely one of the better generics, off-road generics that they've done. I really feel like this one deserves to be in the main line. It doesn't look kiddie at all. It actually looks really good, in my opinion. And hopefully that means that, we'll start seeing some more versions of this guy moving forward, which would be pretty cool. Taking a look at the base deets, of course, it says 2010 Mattel, so this casting has not been modified whatsoever since its debut. But like I said, the plastic part on the top does pop off, just like that. Not necessarily meant to pop off, but it is a separate piece. There is your interior, and there is a dog in there. Hopefully there has been no interior variation on that guy, but I'm pretty sure there has not been any variations. All right, moving on to quote-unquote new casting. I use that term lightly. Very interesting to see a casting debut or pop-up in the main line here that has already had a few versions out. Debuted in black in the Germany series, which looked pretty good. Had 5 spokes on it. Then, of course, we got it in red in the Porsche edition earlier this year with 5 spokes as well. But this one in this metallic blue with the black D10s is just fantastic. It's just really, really good. This one looks fantastic. Front and rear deco, exactly as you'd expect it. Nice, big panoramic roof. They did a fantastic job on this casting. It's definitely one of the best SUV castings they've done in a very, very long time. I think they did a fantastic job on this particular casting. Obviously, Level M is a little biased on Porsches, but honest opinion, this is a very, very good casting. They did a really good job. And this is the best version thus far. Third time's the charm, right? Third time is the charm. There is the deets on the bottom. Very blank, rudimentary base compared to what they usually do, but looks okay. This one is S11, so this batch is spanned over a couple of weeks to produce. All right, moving on to the last one in the mix. This, of course, is the Porsche 911 Rally. This one donning the special 70th anniversary deco for 2023 with a little bit of kind of a Porsche flair to it. So you have Bilstein and Falcon on the side, Momo as well. 70th anniversary on the door on each side. Of course, 70th on the hood with Momo. Full front prints. Does have the headlights done up, the fog lights, and of course the Porsche logo, which is super, super tiny. They did get some taillight print on the side pass. You can see there in the quarter, but it doesn't actually have any rear prints on it whatsoever, nor does it have any prints on the cargo rack on the top with the spare tire and the jerry can. The black one that came out in the Porsche series did have front and top deco, again, but no rear deco. And of course, it does have the orange ringed wheels, which is a staple for the 70th anniversary silver deco model. So that one is pretty nice. So what we're going to do is we are going to roll out with a couple of Porsches on this mix number 6 for 2023. Very small mix, but mix 7 is going to be mix 8 is going to be much bigger. So this one looks pretty good, but we're going to roll out and see where we're at. All right, thanks guys. Level in. Peace.